All right, all right. Welcome, and absolutely wow. It is Wow Wednesday, Walk on Water Wednesday. We are here and ready to walk on water. I have simply Ari Renee that is coming to the stage live tonight. We are going to talk about springing forward. You don't want to miss it. Share with a friend. We are going to talk about springing forward. Share with a friend.
I'm closing chapters, I'm turning pages, glory to glory, from faith to faith. I'm moving on, I'm moving on.
Come on in, share with a friend. We're moving forward. We are springing forward tonight. I got a special guest in the building. You don't want to miss this one. Share, share, share.
I'm moving on, hey, I'm moving on.
Hey, 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 Mish. Hey, hey, hey. Come on in. I know you're moving forward. Hey, Kiara Williams, are you moving on? Okay, move forward, move forward. Moving on.
I'm moving on. I'm moving on. My mother told me, she told me well. Forget your failures. Forgive yourself.
There she is. There's my mother. She taught me well. Hey, Mom. Hey, 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 hey.
I know my real.
All right, all right. We're moving on. That is my song. Did you feel it? Did you feel it? Moving on, moving forward, springing forward. That's what we're doing. Moving forward. I'm excited about tonight. I'm excited about what we're doing in this season. In this season, I want to remind you that we are putting the old behind us, pressing toward the mark. We are looking forward, moving forward, springing forward. So many good things to talk about tonight. I have my special guest, Miss Simply Ari Renee. I have known her for a great long time, and I'm going to bring her to the stage. But I want to remind you of the scripture that we touched base on Monday. Before I bring her to the stage, I want to talk about a little bit this scripture so I can remind you what we're talking about moving on. It's not just Coach K's words. This is the word of God. So you know when we mix our faith with the word of God, there is power and things can happen. So I want to share with you real quick the scripture that we expressed on Monday at Model Moment Monday. We went to Isaiah 43. 18 through 19. Isaiah 43, 18 through 19. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. One of many lessons that life teaches us. We cannot dwell on the past. All right. And then it goes on to say, see, I am doing a new thing. I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up, springs forward. Do you not perceive it? Don't you see it? Don't you see it? I am doing a new thing. I am making a way in the wilderness and in the streams in the wasteland. Our God is making a way. We just have to see it. We have to see it and we have to spring forward. And remember what I said on Monday, spring forward in faith. Although we don't see it, but we have to hold on to what he said, hold on to what we believe, and hold on to his promises. It's time to spring forward. So I want to bring to this virtual stage my friend, Miss Simply Ari Renee. Hey, hello, hello. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm so good. You look amazing.
Thank
I
you.
look at that smile. It never changes. It never changes. I absolutely love it. So if I start talking about how long I've known you, I might age myself a little bit. just
I
just
yeah,
just a little.
I just turned 29 in February, so you
Oh my gosh.
you've
Let's
known me for quite some time. You knew me when I had hair.
yes, that part. That
You knew
part.
me when I had baby teeth. You
Baby. All the way across the waters.
yeah.
I met Ari when she was a little one, like little, like babysitting age. I remember sometimes when I was babysitting and all that stuff. So all the way across from Germany, England,
Yeah.
and then here is it's just amazing to just look at it because now so I'm gonna age you a little bit because Kiara's on tonight and she's 20. Kiara turned 20. So there you go. I'm gonna age you a little bit
What?
tonight. There you go. Absolutely.
Who allowed this to
So
happen?
there was no Kiara when I first met you.
I
So there you go. So we'll age each other tonight. But the beauty of it is that we're still friends. And I love you. I love your mom. I love your dad. I want you to introduce yourself tonight. Kiara saying hi. I
Hey.
want I want you. I think Ty's out there too. I see Ty Caribou is out there saying hi. We got some good friends. So we're just gonna have a good time tonight. We're gonna chat. It's gonna be like a sister circle. We are just going to talk it up. Oh, Nick's in the building too. So there you go. More than just a sister circle, right? That's right. So we're just going to chat and have a good time. We're just going to talk about moving forward. But before we move forward, let's introduce Miss Simply Ari Renee. Let's talk about who she is and what we're going to be talking about tonight.
So you know me growing up as Ariel. Um,
Yes.
growing up in Europe, I had people pronounce my name in different ways. And so some kind of way I figured for my Instagram handle to have Ari in there. So Ariel, Ari, Ariel, I go by it all.
Yeah.
Because simply that's just me. So
I love it.
it's totally fine. But I'm a special education teacher. I'm also a poet and a chronic illness, autoimmune wellness advocate. So I have not been diagnosed with one specific autoimmune disease yet, but I do have autoimmune issues as well as chronic pain that I deal with daily. So it's also part of the reason why my head is shaved.
Okay. And I love it. You look absolutely beautiful.
Feel like I
I
was
love
born
it.
to be bald. Like
I love it. I love it. You look amazing. I absolutely love it.
I appreciate.
Um, you know, even as you talk about that and you talk about like, I mean, there's so many things with everything that you're doing right now, being a special ed teacher. I mean, just a teacher in general in this season that we're in with what 2020 brought us and then moving on with virtual school and then to add the piece that you're a special ed specific teacher. And so that's a lot within itself. So on top of that, you're dealing with daily issues in your own personal walk. So I just want to say you're amazing. And I want to say thank you for all that you're doing and then doing it with a smile and doing it with grace. And so that right there is just it's amazing to me. And that's why I wanted to reach out to you. And I was like, I got to see what she's doing and what she got going on because it's the whole story of springing forward this month as so many times we can get stuck. So many times we think about our issues. We think about all the things that come our way that it prevents us from actually seeing what God is saying. Let's move on because I want to order your steps. But when you stop on one step, I can't take you to another.
Right.
So, hey, Selena. Aloha, my friend. So it's that, Ari. So that's why I wanted to reach out to you, because I'm like, she has all these things that can make someone stop, prevent you from moving forward, but yet you keep moving on, and yet you keep going beyond your circumstance and still seeing what God has in everything that you go through, what he's trying to pull out of you or what he wants you to share with somebody else. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what is allowing you to move forward. What is causing you to take steps to move forward?
I honestly feel like I don't have any other choice,
Mm,
because not in a negative way, but more so there's a fire within me and it's going to continue to burn. So I have to get up physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, deal with whatever I have to deal with, and I have to keep going. Mainly because I realize now that all the things I had to move on from, they weren't just for me, they were to help other people.
mm,
So once I was able to step outside
wow.
of this is the situation, this is what's happening to me, it's all about me, me, me. But then I realize it's not. It's for someone else, so that someone else can know that they can make it. So that someone else can know they can have the same situation. They can be dealing with the same situation that you are currently in, and they can have hope. They can have peace. They can find comfort. I can be more compassionate
Mm.
to them. So it's really, it's not about me, it's about what what are we doing right now to share with others, what can I do to help somebody else along the way.
That's huge. That's huge. And that's such a light bulb, because we make things about ourselves, when we make things, it could be woe is me moments, and why did this happen to me? Why, God? And all these things, that's when we can't move forward, right?
Yeah,
That's what will cause us to be stuck, because if it's about us, then it's really not as big as the picture that God is trying to show us.
yeah,
I love that you said that, and I love that you live it, because I see it. Because if someone sees you on the outside, they wouldn't even know all the things you have going on the inside, because the light that you convey is just beautiful. So when you go down the list of having this chronic illness, and then them not even having a diagnosis to tell you exactly what because
yeah,
when you have a diagnosis or a target, hey, Dr. Phyllis, then you're able to work on it. But when you don't, it's like, okay, maybe this
yeah,
today, maybe I'll try that. So
yeah,
I want to commend you even on that. To keep moving forward and to have that mindset to do that is amazing, because everyone doesn't have that mindset. So I love that piece that you added, to realize that it's not about me.
yeah. It's
I'm
about me to a certain extent,
right.
but like you said, the bigger picture, it's to help someone else along the way. i
Hmm.
I grew up, well, my parents divorced when I was around 8 or 9. So
Hmm.
when you said being stuck and
That.
having to move on, it was until I was 24 or 25 that I realized, oh wow, I'm still naturally still hurt by what happened back then, but I'm still like living in that 8-year-old child mentality,
Mm,
like blaming myself. Like I'm the type of person, I don't look at other people, I'll blame myself first and I'll take responsibility on myself first, which is most likely a part of the reason why my body is doing what it's doing, because
okay.
everything was internalized for so long.
Hmm.
um but I don't remember how it happened or when it happened, but I realized, wow, you're not 8 years old anymore. You have to forgive yourself and let this go. Time has gone on, but mentally I was still an 8-year old girl, like mourning the loss of the family that I thought I would have.
Right.
Yeah. That's a lot.
So much,
That's a
so
lot.
much. Okay, let's unpack all of that on the level that we can, because I might have to have you back on to talk about that, because that's just a whole nother thing. But that's so good, because I love how you said that, because that goes along with moving on and how I can move on. Because a lot of times we do internalize things and we don't even realize it. We
Don't
don't even realize you're talking about from 8 years old to now 24. So all those steps that happened in between, it's like, why did I respond this way? Why did I act this way? But now when you look back on it, it's like, oh my gosh, I never let that go.
Yeah.
So I love that you're saying that. If anyone out there is relating, say, I relate, I relate, I relate, because it is. And that's what a lot of times things from our past, just like we talked on the scripture in the very beginning
Hmm.
about forgetting the former things, right?
Yeah.
And because we have to see what God is doing. It says, don't you perceive it? I'm springing up something new. And that's when we don't see it, is because we're looking behind us. We're
Yeah.
looking at that past glimpse. And not that it didn't happen, because we all know it happened, because actually your parents' divorce was very visible and it
Yeah.
was very open, and because it was in our big church world, right? And we
Yeah.
all seen it happen, right? Um, Dominique Yancey is saying she can relate. Yeah, Dom, right? Ty saying she can relate, because it's something that, things happen in our life and we don't realize why we respond the way we respond, why
Yeah.
we react the way. And sometimes we get stuck in this mode, I am the way I am, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But it wasn't designed to be that way. So I love that we're talking about this tonight, because believe me, you're sharing what a lot of us have went through. And it may not be divorce, right? Everyone, it might not be divorce. Maybe it's abuse. Maybe it's something that happened in our
Yeah.
childhood. People told us we'll never make it, and we still hold on to that. And when we hear those words, it drives us nuts, right? Like, I'm gonna make it. Like, and it's like, cause you don't even know why you're responding that way. But but it happens because we don't deal with the
Yeah.
past. We don't deal with the past. And once we deal with it the right way and we surrender it, we can
Yeah.
move forward. So I love that you're saying that. And I love that you're sharing how you were able to do that. Do you want to touch base on a little bit more about how you're able to take all of this that Ariel is going through, went through, and now at 24, she was at 24 years old, you realize that it wasn't about me. You realize
Right.
that I'm internalizing this, so this could be infecting me on the
Yeah.
inside, and now it's coming in on the outside. Can you talk about some things that you've done or chose to do to be able to move forward from all of this?
Yeah. I think the way that I realized it was because Mother's Day,
Mm,
the beloved Mother's Day, and for years, and I had to tell my mom this, like, I totally despised the day. I just
wow.
I just couldn't I couldn't do it. I it was really hard, and I think it was at 24 I was praying Sunday morning, Mother's Day, and I had to preach that Sunday,
Mm,
and I was just like, why do they want me to do the Mother's Day sermon? Like, of all the people. Granted, I was a co-pastor at that time.
okay.
So so that's another layer.
Maybe you would be speaking because you are the co-pastor.
Right. So I mean, it makes sense, right? Duh. But for me,
Right.
I was just like, well, Lord, why is this so heavy? Why why do I not like this day? And it
Mm-hmm.
was just like, well, because you didn't have the childhood you thought you should have had. You didn't
Mm,
have the childhood you thought you deserved. So
mm,
you have forgiven your mother, but you have to forgive yourself for blaming yourself all these years. And as a result of that, and moving literally moving on from that day, I realized that a lot of my fears and insecurities all stemmed from that one thing that happened. That divorce, as a result of that divorce, I ended up with fear of abandonment.
And then Ari, you're saying this too. I want so with the divorce, you stayed with your dad. Your
I stayed
mom
with my dad. Yes.
and you stay with your dad.
Yes.
So okay. I know you would share it as we would go on,
Oh
but
yeah.
I want to kind of build up to where
Yes.
all this kind of came from. So
Yeah.
how you choose to move forward. I mean, that's huge. An 8-year-old to now not have mom.
Right.
is a lot.
And then I grew up feeling inadequate in ways. You know, you get older, you come into womanhood, and I'm just like, oh, no one wants to marry me. I wasn't raised by a mother.
Mm,
Oh, no one's going to find me appealing. I'm a daddy's girl all the way to the core, to the bone. And
right.
like, I'm rough, I'm tough. I play football too. And I also paint my nails and wear
Mm,
lipstick, but I'll do all this. I'll climb trees and whatever. Nobody so it impacted me in relationships.
mm-hmm.
Why do you not let people in? Because you're going to leave. Well, how do you know I'm going to leave? Well, she left. So, you know, just reducing it down to the, you know, the very minimum. She left, so you're going to leave too. I'm not worthy of love. I'm not even capable of loving because I didn't have a mother's love in the way that I thought that I should have. So, all of that was internalized, and it really came to a head 24, 25. And
Mm-hmm.
it was just like a major light bulb. I was like, wait a minute, I don't have to live like this.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
have to. And it came from that one Mother's Day. And I prayed and asked the Lord, I don't want to feel this way anymore. I love my mom. I just
Wow.
what do I do now? How do I move on from this? What am I supposed to do? She's not a bad person. She's a wonderful person. I have her face. Like,
You have her face.
I have her
Yeah.
smile. I have her
Yeah.
laugh. I
Everything. Yeah.
literally do everything like her, and I don't even know it until someone says, "Girl, that's your
That's
mama."
your mom. Right, right, right. So that's a lot within even in those comments, Maya. Like so I'm saying Maya because I'm looking at Shamaya. Hey, Shamaya's on the line too. Um and in these situations it just goes back to things that we hold on to and don't even realize that we're holding
Right.
on to those things, and then not the fact that we're just holding on to them, we are responding because of them this way, we are acting out because of these ways and these things. So the fact that you had that light bulb come on, and then a lot of times we do realize it because the light bulb came on, so now it's about you made a choice and
Yes.
said, I no longer want to be like this.
Right.
Like, God, help me.
Yes.
Help me because I don't want to respond this way. I don't want to have fear. I don't want to feel like I'm always going to be abandoned. I want to have a better relationship with people in general.
Yeah.
So you made a choice. So making that choice, choosing to like, okay, you realize it because a lot of times we realize or God shows us because we ask him to show us, right? Um, but the next step of making the choice of, okay, I got this information. So what do I do with it now?
Mm-hmm.
So as your journey continued and you decided to move forward and you made the choice of, I love my mom. I don't want to be like this. I want to have a relationship with her. So even as others are listening out there now, and share what you did next. Share what you did next to decide, make that decision, and of course, lay aside every weight, surrender that to God. What did you do next to now take the steps to maybe seek a relationship with mom or try to mend some of these things or figure it out? How did you move on?
I think it takes. I like to say this often. It's daily conscious effort.
Mm,
So it's something you have to do every single day, and it starts for me. It starts in my mind.
mm,
So what are my thoughts? How do I feel? Am I watching how I respond to certain things? I had that very same year I had a student, he drew me on his Mother's Day card to give to his mother. I was like, "Sir, you understand that you have to give this to your mom?" And he's like,
mhm,
"Yeah, but it's." And I showed the teachers. I'm like, "Who did he draw?" Because I'm the only teacher in the school who looks like me. Who did he draw? He drew you, Miss Evans. He loves you. And
mm.
it just like receiving the love from the kids that I teach every day, and knowing that they look up to me and accepting that I am somebody in their life. I allowing myself to care for other people.
Mm-hmm.
um I really have to, it's really it's a daily thing, because you have to literally guard your thoughts and track your thoughts and your feelings. When I'm watching certain shows, how do I feel when there's a certain scene that comes up? I had at that time I had a therapist. My boss was actually a licensed counselor, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it
So
worked.
let's stop right there. Let's talk about that because it's okay to not be
Oh,
okay. It's
oh,
okay. And I want to say this because, and I've said it, and I probably haven't said it here recently, but I've said it. I say it often in this space and in the circle for Model for the King. Is that it's okay to seek help. It's okay to get a counselor. It's okay to get a therapist because
oh,
sometimes it goes deeper and it goes beyond. I'm going to pray this out, or I'm going to work this out in church and I'll work this out. But sometimes you do need to take a step further to get help and
yeah,
feel okay with not being okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So I
That was
love that you
the
did
thing.
that.
You have to be honest with yourself and say, this is a problem for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's if we can have a step one, it's being honest with yourself. Ariel, you do not like Mother's Day. Why?
Right. Be
Why?
honest with yourself. Let's make that our step one tonight.
It has,
Be honest with yourself. I
yeah.
love that.
You
So
can, I can
you did
smile.
you say Ariel what?
Ariel, you don't like Mother's Day. Why is it that you don't like Mother's Day?
Okay.
I don't like it because I was not raised by my mother and I don't feel that connection.
I love that. I love that. I have Crystal out here. She's saying, yes, it is very okay to not be okay. It shows courage, it's strength and willingness to grow when we seek accountability and professional insights and wisdom.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks, Crystal. Thank you for sharing that because it's absolutely true. And I think a lot of times, even in the church world, a lot of times in the church world, even in the African American community, we look at counseling as being a bad thing. It's something wrong with them because they have to go to counseling. Yeah, that's why I'm going to counseling. There's something wrong, right? You want to get better. And so it's okay not to be okay. And I love that when you made that choice and you were honest with yourself, that you are able, Crystal just said it, you can't grow unless you're honest with yourself and you face what the problem is.
Yeah.
And then we can start talking about a solution.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know the problem, how can you find a solution?
Right.
I love that. I love that. So we go to Ty said, yes, Coach K. See, that's my cheerleader. I need her. Counseling saves your lives. It saves lives. It absolutely does. Because sometimes you need something a little further and you need that expert to help you pull it out.
Yeah.
Because you might have recognized it, but you don't know what to do with it after you recognize it.
Yep.
I love that. I love that. So as we go forward in Crystal's a counselor. I know she is because I know her personally. She said even counselors need counseling sometimes. Absolutely. And so
They're still
counselors
people.
and coaches, we all need help. We all need help. And sometimes we just have to realize that I need help. And that's when we seek help. And then when we take those steps, I always say one step in the right direction, it equals progress. And
Yeah.
if we're not stepping, how can God order our steps? So I love that, Ari. So here we go. So you're asking yourself why. You're asking yourself, what do
Yeah.
I need to do? You're seeking your therapist. And then what? You go through all of this and then you get to what point to move forward?
I think all of that is moving forward. It's all,
Mm,
it's you see the end result, but you don't see the in between, and the in between is what is where you're really moving forward, is where
mm-hmm.
you're where I had to open myself and allow other women to be there for me if my mother wasn't able to. So moving on from 24 until now.
Oh, that's so good. Stop right there. That's so good because I encounter many people of course, between counseling and coaching and being in these circles where, because I'm called to women, I counsel and educate and inspire, right? So I hear a lot of the same things over and over again. And when we get down to the root of it, and we say, like you said, you didn't have your mom and she wasn't there, and but when we, as Christians, as believers, um, when we look around and those things that we don't have or we feel that on our way, we read it in scripture and we'll say, and we'll even sing it, that he'll be a father to the fatherless. He'll be a mother to the motherless. Like we say this, right? Psalms 21:27 is that, when my mother and father forsake me, then the
The
Lord
Lord
will
will
take
take
me.
me up.
Like we know those words, we know them, we sing them, but at the end of the day, do we believe them? And when you just said that you had to allow other women to fill that void, that's huge right there, because that's being honest, saying, Ari, you don't have your mom, right? Being honest, and then saying, okay, but Lord, you left me and surrounded me with other women that want to
Yes.
be there for me, want
Yeah.
to help me know how to be a young lady, want to help me grow into that space. So how did the RA back then feel when these women did you go back in your mind and think about like those spaces that God was trying to fill, but you were like, nope, not my mom. Nope, not my mom. Nope, you're not the one, right?
As a child, it was easy because they were already there. So I already knew them. They just picked up where mom left off. So
Mm-hmm.
it like we were already in the routine. It wasn't until I want to say, that's so weird, in my 20s. I mean, I'm still in my 20s, but I'm at the end of the 20s. So oh my God. Anyway, um
Yeah.
in the 20s, college age.
Because there was still a longing for it, right? And now it's
Always,
mm-hmm.
always. I mean, and my dad remarried when I was around 12, 13.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that was great. But we were different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
So we were multicultural blended family. So
Yeah.
that's a whole mouthful. And it was beautiful, but it was like, you're not a black mom to mother me like I think a black mom would, right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
Like whatever that means, that's what I thought I needed. But
Mm-hmm.
um I think once I hit my 20s, and honestly by 21 I was pastoring at 21. 21 to 28 I was pastoring, right?
Yes.
So there were women in my life who the Lord just literally just sent, and I had no choice but to accept what they were giving because that's what I needed, and there was no other way for me to get it.
Mm.
So allowing myself to trust them was really more so me opening up and expressing these types of things to them. Or if they notice she's a little closed off, what's going on? She's not having the emotional response.
Okay.
One of my one of my godmothers, she was like, I'm standing here crying because I love you and you're just looking at me. And I was just like, I don't I don't
Mm.
know what I'm supposed to do. I'm a
Okay.
mom. You're my baby. And I'm just like, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And
Mm.
she said the spirit spoke to her and said, you have to give her grace because she really doesn't know what she's. I'm like, yeah, I'll hug you, but this emotion that you are feeling,
You
I
don't
don't,
connect with it. You
I'm
weren't
not
connecting with
connecting.
it, right?
The dots are not, we're not in sync, and I don't know what to tell you. I care about you strongly. I love you, but why are you crying? You're putting me on the plane and I'll see you in a few months. It's not a big deal. And she's like, no, I feel like you're my child going off into the world.
Yeah.
And so it's things like that I had to realize, oh, okay.
Uh,
All right. I
yeah.
got I got you now. I think being a teacher also helps because I am responsible to a certain extent for these little humans.
Mm-hmm.
And when something happens to them, I can't get it out of my mind. I
Yeah.
can't I had one student had a really, really terrible meltdown one day, and I just went to the principal's office and cried.
Mm.
And they're like, you can't do that, Evans. You got to keep going. And I'm like,
Right.
how
Right.
this?
Why do you think you responded that way? Why do you think that your response is that open to where you're feeling their feelings and emotions like that?
Because that's my kid.
Yeah.
That he like, I guess I've realized I love them more than I thought. The students will oftentimes call me mom, and I'd be like, I'm not gonna be nobody's mom. Nobody's gonna wanna. What do you
Yeah.
mean, mom? And they'll say,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry, I met Miss Evans, and I'm like, but they keep calling me mom. They
Mm.
keep asking me when is Miss Evans going to have a baby because Miss Evans is a mom, and I'm like,
Mm.
how can I be a mom when I wasn't raised by my mom? You know,
Right.
it doesn't
Right.
make sense to hear that now, but as a growing up,
Right.
it was definitely my mindset, like
Wow.
nurturing, caring, compassionate,
Yeah.
long suffering. No, not me.
Right.
But it took my students to show me that no, Miss Evans, you could actually do this.
I love it. I love how God orders our steps, right? I love how even the things that are hard that we go through, He knows what what and who can go through those things, right? And
Yeah.
so that's the beauty of knowing who you are. That's the beauty of realizing, and like I was saying, you made that choice to dig a little deeper. Why I respond this way? Why do I act this way? And so in that, you're able to see, okay, this is something that I'm dealing with concerning my mom leaving, that abandonment, the not having the mom, and all those spaces that did it happen to you? Absolutely. We witnessed it. It did happen to you. But even making the decision to let the Lord order our steps in the right way and realize, was this a bad thing in our mind and in our world? It was a bad thing. But God said it was your thing, right?
Yeah,
Your
that's it.
thing, right? Your
Yeah.
thing to walk into. He's like, this step happened, but I need you to keep stepping because I'm gonna bring you to the other side where one day you're gonna be a teacher, you're gonna be helping these kids, and
Yep.
you're gonna be able to be a mother figure to them, and ultimately someone that's gonna nourish and keep them, and you didn't have that yourself. God is so amazing. Like it, and so even as I'm listening to your story, I encourage all those that are out there that are listening, don't stop at the step. Keep stepping.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Just keep stepping. And you have to take, he didn't say it was going to be easy, right? He didn't say that everything was going to be perfect and wonderful and flowers. And soon as you grow up and you're going to love Jesus and it's going to be great.
That's
Here
what I
it is.
thought it would be.
Right. That's what we all want to imagine. But when you're, even as a pastor, you are a pastor having to deal with this in the honesty of, I'm having issues with this.
Yeah.
And I know you said that the first step was to be honest with yourself. And then I believe that what your second step, as you're saying, is to not, once you're honest with yourself, then ask yourself the why question, like, why am I feeling this way?
Yeah.
Why am I going through this? And then when you start getting to the why, then we can look for a solution,
Yeah.
and then we can get some results. So we want to ask ourselves why. The number two thing is ask yourself why I'm feeling this way. So I love that, because then we can go ahead and get some steps and some solutions and make some plans.
Yeah.
So what's Ty saying to us tonight? She always has something good to say. She just said, don't stop at the step. Keep stepping. Yes, yes, you got to keep stepping. Because if you didn't keep stepping, if you stopped at that step, if you got stuck on that 8-year-old that was floating around in your head, that never had a mom, that couldn't celebrate Mother's Day, that couldn't bring flowers and make the little picture and give it to your mom on that Sunday whenever all the other little kids were giving their picture, if you got stuck there, we wouldn't have the teacher, the pastor, the Ariel that's sitting in front of us, that's simply Ari. Like if you would have stopped, we wouldn't have been able to make it on the other side.
No.
That's
you would
huge.
have just seen the smile, but
Mm,
you wouldn't have you because I mean I was smiling through it all, right? I was,
mm.
oh, Miss Hoover, Janine, I love you, I miss you. My family in
see,
Texas.
see all the love.
One of the women who took me in and who took care of me when I first started teaching.
I love that. I
I
love
was
that.
having a hard time when I was first developing vitiligo. She was one of the first people I told.
I love that. And
Yeah,
see, that's all it's, and like you said, let's full circle back
yeah.
because it's not about us, right? When
Oh,
we start shining the light and it's not about us and God putting other people in our path
yep,
that help us be who we're called to be, even when we're looking for that title that we think that like the world says mom should be here and this is what mom should do. Mom, so what happens when we don't have that one? We have to welcome the one that God is putting in our front.
he
And
blessed me with hundreds,
yeah,
like
yeah.
all the way back to my fourth grade teacher.
Mm,
My dad and I were talking about her yesterday, and I told him, I said, every time I hear her name, I get chills because
mm,
she took such great care of me,
yeah.
just as being my fourth grade teacher. I look back, she was one of the first, and then time goes on, there's women who stand out, and let's be real, they were all white women.
Mm,
I mean,
wow.
not that that's a big deal, but that's just not all, but a good percentage of the women who really carried me through, I would say carried, but they legit carried me through college, through my bachelor's and my master's degrees. The women who were fighting for me and my health and my mental health, they they were
Because in your mind, if we go back to the conversation, in your mind, you said, but they're not a black mom. So
right. Whatever
maybe,
a black mom is, whatever a black
right.
mom supposed to be, that's what I thought I was going to have. But I
Because
was,
I want to say that too, Ariel, because it's about like the way we want things pretty packaged in our head and
yeah,
the way it should be, it might not necessarily be what God has for us.
oh,
He's bringing us like a solution and we're saying, nope, it don't look like that. Nope, that's not that. Nope, nope, I don't want that. He's given us the solution. I always go back to that story with the man on the burning roof and they send him like the plane, they send him a ladder, they send him all these things, and then he ends up dying and they're like, gets to heaven and say, God, why didn't I make it? You didn't come help me. God said, I sent you a plane, a trade, everything that can help you. And you didn't want to receive it because it wasn't what you thought it should be and what you thought it should look like.
yeah,
So opening our eyes and seeing like looking around, maybe it's right in front of us what God is trying to give us to help us through.
yep.
That's so good. Like that's so good because a lot of times we miss it. We miss out on our solution and the answer to our problem because it's not how we envision it.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't even know what to envision.
Mm,
So it's
mm,
like, what am I supposed to look for?
yeah.
I like I know that I desired this, but what exactly is it? Do I really
Right. Because
do I
even
really
as an 8-year-old who doesn't have a mother, like, how did you even know what a mother should bring? You only knew what other people said or what you were
yeah.
seen to see. And how do you even know what you needed? Right.
All I
We did.
knew all I knew was what Elder Melba Lee did for me. That's that's
That
that's
name
it.
right now, you just gave me chills.
Elba Claudette Lee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talking about someone who stepped up, and so when she passed, I was wrecked. I lost my mother.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Yeah.
all,
That's
all I
huge.
knew was what the Lord blessed me with in the church mothers, and
Yeah.
then in school, every level of my schooling, the Lord just it
Give
was
you
women,
somebody and it
women
gave you
advocating for
someone.
me.
Yep.
And I was just like, I've never seen this before. I've seen my dad fight for me. I've seen my dad go to war for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen he stood right beside me in the financial aid office when we didn't know how tuition would be paid.
Mm.
Like I've gone to war with my dad right beside me. But for a woman to step up and to say, no, this is our girl, we're gonna nourish her, we're gonna nurture her, that
Yeah, it's mind blowing because um exceedingly abundantly beyond what we can ever ask or think. Ephesians 3:20. That's what our God gives us. He gives us exactly what we don't even know that we need. He gives it to us. Gosh, let's look at some of these comments. Crystal says, when we keep stepping, we gain momentum at the pace that future opportunities will be birthed from our growth.
oh yes.
That's so good. That's so good. Because when we stop, we're stuck. When we stop, there is no way of God ordering our steps or moving us forward because we're sitting on the step,
Yeah.
physically pouting like we do, crying like we do. And
Well,
God said, woe is me. And he
why does
said,
it have to happen
it's
to
not about you, boo.
yeah,
Like, get through this because you're supposed to help somebody else on the
yeah,
other side. We got to keep stepping, moving forward. So who else is saying something good out here tonight? Ty is saying you probably didn't even need to look. God was sending who you needed. And
yeah.
that's exactly what happens. It's like, when we say I need help, our God is right there saying, yep, I know. I have him right there for you because he's so good. He's so good like that. Chauncey's out there. Hey, girl. Hey. But it's so good, Ari, and I appreciate you being so vulnerable tonight and just sharing all these pieces because I know it's helping somebody else. I know that all those out there are listening, and but ultimately she's saying keep stepping, keep moving to get to the other side because let's talk about this. Let's talk about what you're doing now. Who is Simply Ari Renee? All I know is Ariel, the little girl with pigtails. Tell me who Simply Ari Renee is and what you're doing and how you got there and all the goodness that's going on right now.
Well,
Well,
I published my first book last year. I I started writing poetry 2012. And at some point, I think around 2015, which was when I started having health issues, I was inspired to start writing again to kind of document how I was feeling. And then it went from that to me discovering that I'm a romantic. because it's funny to me now because for many years, like I said, I couldn't see myself as a wife. I couldn't see myself as a mom. Me falling in love, what? Like,
yeah.
how? And everybody's like, you're so gorgeous, you're so awesome. And I'm like, but I don't feel like I'm worthy of that. That's the past. Past. So
The
so
past. We're moving on.
it's behind me.
I love it.
So I continued writing and I started posting on Instagram, and people who I know and people who I didn't know, they would comment saying, when is your book coming out? And I was like, whose book? I'm not writing a book. And they're like, this is basically a book, Ariel. You should publish this. So I finally decided to do that 2020. So I went through the whole process within a matter of, I think from July to December. I compiled everything that I wanted in the book. It's really short, but it's a good read. My grandmother read it in one sitting. So, I mean, if grandma can do it, you can.
Yeah.
I encourage people to just pick it up little by little, or you can sit there and read the whole thing. It's, I think I did put some vulnerable things in there, but it's published now, so it is what it is.
It's out there now. But congratulations.
Thank you.
And it's just amazing like what we can do when we just give it all to God and let it go. And then he shows you the one who thought they couldn't be loved, the one who thought they didn't have love. It's like God is like, no, I'm love, so you're love. So I love that. That's why I could just laugh because it's like, I'm a romantic. I love, and it's
I
like,
had to admit that to myself. Like,
right.
Ariel, no, you want to be loved and in
Want
love,
to be
and you want to
loved.
love somebody. You better stand firm in this. And
So, please say that like our words are powerful. So if right, our words are
let me tell you
powerful.
something about words.
Come
And
on.
if Janine Hoover is still on here, she can testify to this. When I first started working at the school district that I was at in Texas, um, I told them, I said, I'm going to be here for 5 years. And at the fifth year mark, I'm going to decide what I'm doing with my life. And I might be leaving. So first year went by, and I was like, I have 4 more years here. Then we'll see where I'm going. 3 years, four, fifth year came, and I said, all right, it's the fifth year. I don't think I'm staying here. I'm leaving. And they were like, where are you going? Your life is here. Mind you, at that time I was living in Texas by myself.
Right.
So I was
Mm-hmm.
living in South Texas at that. So my extended family was a minimum of 8 hours away from me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm living in Corpus Christi, Texas. I was still pastoring at that time, and I was like, "There's nothing tying me down here. I think it's time to go." So
Mm-hmm.
that school year, I started applying for jobs. I had interviews. The pandemic hit, and they're like, "She's not leaving now. It's a pandemic.
Surely not.
She can't be leaving now. It's a pandemic." And I now live in Georgia. So the Lord moved and blessed me with a job here, and it's fun. I can look back now, and I was like, Lord, like, were you speaking through me when I kept saying 5 years? Because when that 5 year mark was coming, I just literally could sense a shift. Like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I know I'm not going to be here. It's time for y'all to release me. It's time for me to
Yeah.
go. And
Yeah.
in me doing that, July will make a year of me living here. In me doing that, I've learned so much about myself personally, not being there. So I,
Wow.
I mean, I'm from Germany, but I don't know if you know that we didn't move until I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the only place I'd ever lived in my entire life
Mm-hmm.
for 14 years, conception to 14 years old.
Right.
That's where I was. Then we moved to Texas. My dad ended up leaving. Uh, so I,
Mm-hmm.
I was there about 7, 8 years by myself.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that long.
So
Um,
long.
but see, and that's God. Like he just orders our steps, he just orders our steps. And let's see what some people are saying some things, Ari. So Kiara says, do you have any tips on how to read a poetry book, such as front to back, or picking randomly reading a poem in each chapter or something?
I say both. The poems that I have read, or the books of poetry that I've read, some have a table of contents. You can kind of browse. Mine doesn't, because
Okay.
I'm I'm different.
Yeah.
A little bit different.
Okay.
And my book is not just poems. It's I literally call it a diary of thoughts, reflection, and what did I say? Thoughts, reflection, something else. Oh, thoughts, reflection, and poetry.
Yeah,
Basically, so
like
it
all mixed in one, so
so
it's different
it's
ones.
it's mixed. It's mixed in one. But really, I feel like there's no wrong way to
Mm,
approach it. There's no wrong way, even when if you're going to write it. There's no wrong way. I love when we get to a poetry unit at school and the kids are like, "It has to rhyme." And I'm like, "No, it doesn't."
no, it doesn't. I love that. I love that. All right. Ty, we'll tell you at the end. Like, why are you trying to run my show? Like, I'll tell you where to purchase and do all that
That's
stuff.
how it goes.
Bye, Ty. Bye.
Don't you do that,
We'll tell you. We're going to tell you. We're going to tell you all the goodness, how to get everything and stay connected with Simply Ari Renee. So I have Chauncey is saying that she has her copy, so she's super excited. She's bragging about it right now. And so all right, everybody's out here, they're hearing your story, they're hearing how you move forward. Can you share with us some of your work? Can we get a taste? Can we get a little bit of something tonight?
Sure,
Don't y'all want to hear something? Don't y'all want to hear something?
sure.
Yay.
I think the one that I want to share, uh, I found it. It is in the book, so it's not anything brand new. Oh, we'll talk about how you can find the brand new stuff later because
Okay. All
brand
right.
brand new stuff coming in hot. Okay.
All
Um.
right.
Oh, bless me. So I'll say this before I read it. So I know at the beginning I talked a little bit about the different health issues that I have, and poetry was me just writing to document how I feel was really part of the healing process for me. So it's not just me writing about the sky being blue or whatever. It I write about what I'm experiencing. So
Mm,
this one is called I'm thankful for the ability to feel.
mm,
I'm thankful for the ability to feel. From the tingling to the numbness that turns into throbbing, to to the throbbing that turns into sharpness, piercing from neck to toe, back to knees, fingertips to feet. I'm thankful I can feel. Every ache, pain, and strain on my joints, muscles, and limbs. At all times, I will bless him. No matter how much pain I'm in, I'm thankful for the ability to feel. As long as I can feel it, I know he can heal it. For by his stripes, he gave his life for me to gain the ability to feel pain, that I may know how it feels to be healed.
mm.
So I wrote that one on a very strong pain day, high pain day, and I realized that the fact that I can still feel pain, it's a sign that I will still be healed. So the fact that I'm still alive and I'm able to feel pain, then tomorrow could be a better day. Tomorrow might be a better day. There are days, especially when before I went to the doctor, there were days that I couldn't get out of bed and I was sleeping like 16 hours a day. And when my symptoms first started to show up, I was like, oh, I think something's wrong with me. I think I have diabetes, but it turns out it's not. It's something else.
Mhm.
But basically throughout all of my physical pain that I feel, it's just a reminder to me that I won't always feel this pain. So it's
Oh,
like it's a
that's
when
so
I explain
good.
it, when I explain
Yeah.
it, it feels weird to say like you're in pain. You should be sad. Well, yeah, I am sad because I'm in pain, but the God that I serve is able to heal my body.
Hmm. And
I
it goes to what you're saying, just moving forward,
yeah,
having to move forward. Because if you get stuck in that day when you're having pain and you're just focusing on that day and you're continuing to let it play and
yeah,
play and play, it's something that can continue. The next day might be a day full of pain too, because you just keep focusing on the
yeah.
pain. So that's where our energy is going to go. Our energy is going to go to the thing that we focus on. So I
Mm-hmm.
love that. I love even the thought of how you broke that down. I see everybody's like snapping, like virtually snapping, virtually snapping. That's so good. And so as we're talking about this and as you were sharing, we're going to go to Ty's portion. If you would share with us how we can stay in contact with Simply Ari Renee, like how can we stay in contact with you? I love that you were so vulnerable tonight and you shared, and I know it helped someone else because even hearing you say all these things, and I've been with you for 20 plus years,
Yeah,
and I didn't know. You don't know what everyone is going through. You can see things on the outside and you see people grow, and you just don't know exactly what they went through to get where they are or what they're still going through to try to get where God is taking them. So I appreciate you sharing tonight. And coming on, please tell us how we could stay in contact with you and to also get this wonderful book.
um,
Cynthia. It's beautiful too. I love the cover. I love it.
I'm in a
Yeah,
yellow phase of life, so
I love it. That's why. Look, yes,
so you
yes,
want my color tonight. Um,
absolutely.
so I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, obviously I'm on Facebook as well. But
Mhm.
Instagram and Twitter, my what do you call it? My handle is simply Ari Renee. So SIN.
Simply Ari Renee,
Mhm.
simply Ari Renee. And we'll put that here in the
Yeah.
comments and then also post it on the page.
Hmm.
If you will send me also a link on how we can get the book or how we can
Yes.
either just get the book and PayPal you or something, however you get it out. I know a lot of people are wanting copies, and I'm sure I'll be getting messages too from this circle that want to reach out to you, want to get copies.
My book
And
is available on Amazon. I did,
awesome.
yes, I self-published through Amazon. I
But
I
I have people that want signed copies, so of course they want it directly from you because they want
so
it
then,
signed.
so then they would need to message me because I have a way. I have a way.
Okay, all
There's
right.
I can that I have been doing it for those who want signed copies. So I'll get it shipped to me and write you a nice little message and
Yeah, I love that. And then also, before you go, Ari, can you share with that one that is out there that are stuck and that are going through some of the things that you mentioned tonight, whether they went through childhood divorce, whether they went through um, the feeling of being abandoned and rejected, and all of these things, as a young lady that's out there that is still suffering from mom not being there, whether it be for whatever situation that resulted in mom not being there. Can you share with them tonight and encourage them with some words that will help them spring forward?
I would say take it one day at a time.
Mm,
Take it one day at a time. The one of the wisest people that I know, my dad, uh, that's something he's always said, and I didn't fully understand it until I had to take it one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, sometimes minute by minute by
mhm,
minute, um,
mhm,
and to know that the way you feel is okay. That's something that I talk about with my students. Your emotions are valid. The way you feel matters.
mhm,
My problem was that I would suppress how I felt so that I could keep smiling.
mm.
I would, have a facade outside, but on the inside I was hurt. I was bitter. I was
Yeah.
I was dying emotionally, mentally, spiritually,
Mhm,
in this particular area. Um, but I would definitely say to uh, release yourself from that pain
mm,
by acknowledging that this is hurting you, and even if you don't know why, but
mhm.
acknowledging it first, and
Yeah.
then knowing that you're not alone. That's something I always say. You're not alone. I always thought I was alone until I got older and I met people, and I was just like, there's a club for me too.
Mhm, mhm.
But
I love that.
take it one day at a time, because going from that one Mother's Day at the age of 24 to now the age of 29, I would never have thought that I would be where I am today.
So good.
Never. But it's just that one day at a time.
I love it. I thank you, Ari. I thank you for sharing that because I say that often, and it's my mantra here. Like one step in the right direction. If you're moving in the right direction, just that one step will keep you moving further. So one day at a time, one step at a time, one
Yeah.
moment at a time.
That's it.
And every day is not going to be a good day, but you just keep stepping, right? You keep
Yeah.
stepping because if you keep stepping, you're going to see the sunshine. So I love it. Thank you for coming on tonight. Thank you
Thank
for
you for
sharing.
having me.
Yes, absolutely. You have to come back because there's so many other elements and pieces that of your story that I know will help others in this circle. And just hear when you hear that you're not alone and you're not the only one going through it, it just gives you the hope that you can make it.
Yeah.
So I thank you for.
Isolation is
Mm,
biggest
yeah, It's the
Well,
biggest.
I have to come back because I isolated myself for years. So
Oh, we got to talk about it. We
we
got
got
to
to talk
talk
about
about it.
it because it plays a key role. It
Yeah.
played a key role in my growth and my healing process. So yeah.
She
Oh,
said, "Who knows what this year's Mother's Day may bring?" Thank you for sharing your
that's
story. That's
so
my
true.
kiki. That's so good. That's so good. I love it. And it's coming. Mother's Day is coming. So see, you can look forward. Maybe there's something good gonna happen. I love it. So listen, thank you for coming on tonight. And like I said, I need you to come back because we're gonna talk more about all these different steps.
Yeah.
And I love even you even talked on like being that feeling that abandonment and that's a big piece too,
Yeah.
that abandonment and then rejection and just so many topics that you talked about tonight and touched on. So we'll just dig a little deeper. We'll
Definitely.
keep sharing our testimonies. We'll keep bringing forth. That's what wow moments are all about, to be able to walk on water and show someone else how to get there as well. So thank you for coming on tonight. We'll talk more. Everybody out here, please go out, support Simply Ari Renee. Get her book. It's amazing. It's going to just cheer you up with all the poems and the stories and the things that she's having to share. More to come. I know it's going to come. I'm wishing you the best. Thank you for coming on to this circle, and we will talk more. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.